Hello my dear students, myself Mahesh B. Koot. I welcome you to our channel Colorful Chemistry, Meaningful Mathematics. Today I am going to reveal a new events. So today onwards, not only we are going to teach a chemistry, but in our channel you can find a mathematics too. So yes guys, today onwards we are going to solve all CBSE NCERT textbook solutions. In each and every questions of the NCERT mathematics textbook, we are going to solve on our channel. So please stay tuned. Today we are going to start a mathematics chapter, that is continuity and differentiability. In that mainly we are focusing on differentiability. I am going to solve each and every problem of differentiability chapter, exercise 5.2 to 5.9. Okay, starting with differentiability. What is differentiability, guys? So a function f of x is said to be differentiable. A function f of x is said to be differentiable at point x equal to c, at point x equal to c, if limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h is tending to 0 minus, and limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h tending to 0 plus. Both the limits exist finitely and are equal. So that means a function f of x is said to be differentiable at x equal to c if limit of f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 minus, and limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. Both the limits exist finitely and are equal. So both LHL and RHL limits are equal and exist finitely. Then we can say the function f of x is differentiable at x equal to c. C be any point and h is a very smaller number, lesser than h, nearly equal to h, that is nearly equal to 0 and all. Okay, so this is what definition of differentiability. So how the function is differentiable at particular point, and this is defined as f dash of x or d by dx of f of x, and is given by f dash of x equal to limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0. So this f dash of x is notation for the differentiation of f of x with respect to x. So this is a definition of differentiable function, that is a derivative, right? So this is how the function is differentiable and all. Now we are going to study what are the basic properties of derivatives. Basic properties of derivatives. Okay, first property, that is nothing but c into f whole dash equal to c into f dash. So this indicates when we take derivative of any constant with a function whole. So for derivative of whole, that, so you are getting the c as it is, that means the constant as it is, and differentiation of the function f. So this is the first property. Second property is a product rule. Look at the name, guys. Name itself indicates product, nothing but UV. When you wanted to find the differentiation of two functions with multiplication sign and we wanted to find the differentiation of whole thing, so we have to apply this product rule. This product rule says that first function as it is into differentiation of second plus second function as it is differentiation of first. This dash indicates differentiation. U as it is differentiation of V, that is a V dash, plus V as it is differentiation of U, that is a U dash. I hope you are getting. Next one, quotient rule. So again, name itself indicates here quotient means dividend. So U by V, when you are having U by V form, two functions which are in U by V, that is in the denominator and numerator. So if you wanted to find the differentiation of whole thing, you just apply this rule. This rule says that denominator as it is d by dx of numerator minus numerator as it is d by dx of denominator divided by denominator square. This U dash indicates d by dx of U. V dash indicates d by dx of V, like that, right? So this is a quotient rule. Numerator as it is differentiation of the, denominator as it is differentiation of the numerator minus numerator as it is differentiation of the denominator divided by denominator square. So this is a quotient rule. Now fourth one, that is nothing but, fourth rule is a chain rule. When you find out the differentiation of f of g of x, so if you have a function like this, the function in terms of another function, right? Just do the differentiation of first one, f dash of g of x into d by dx of g of x. Nothing but, first you have to find out the differentiation of the function, whatever the function you take that as a x, and do the further procedure. Then go for the differentiation of whatever the internal function is there, that is g of x, differentiation of g of x. So this is what chain rule. These are the four important properties of derivatives. So these are going to be helpful for our further calculation, that is our exercise solution, right? So these are the basic properties of derivative. And now we will study some derivatives of some standard functions, right? By using those formulas, we are going to calculate the derivative of any function, right? So let us start. Derivative of standard function. Derivative of standard function. Nothing but, so starting from some different functions are there, we have to calculate the derivative of that one. So directly the formulas are there. Just remember this formula. If you know this formula, you can easily calculate the differentiation of any function. So first one, d by dx of x raised to n. If the function is in the form x raised to n, you will get a differentiation as a n into x raised to n minus 1, right? Second one, d by dx of x is nothing but 1. Third one, d by dx of any constant, you are getting as a 0. Fourth one, differentiation of, next one we are going to apply the trigonometric functions. Sin x, differentiation of sin x is cos x. Differentiation of cos x is nothing but minus sin x. Differentiation of tan x, you are getting as a minus. Differentiation of tan x is sec square x. Yes, these are the 6 formulas. Then seventh one, d by dx of sec x. After tan x, you just take cot x. Cot x, you are getting minus cosec square x. Eighth one, d by dx of sec x is nothing but sec x into tan x. Ninth one, d by dx of sec cosec x. After sec cosec x equal to minus cosec x into cot x. Next 10th one, this trigonometric functions are over now. Now we have to take inverse trigonometry. D by dx of sine inverse x equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 minus x square. 11th one, d by dx of cos inverse x. D by dx of cos inverse x minus 1 divided by square root of 1 minus x square. 12th one, d by dx of tan inverse x is nothing but we are having 1 divided by 1 plus x square. So these are the inverse trigonometric formula. Next one, logarithmic. So 13th one, d by dx of log x to the base e is nothing but 1 by x. 14, d by dx of log x to the base 10 is equal to 1 by x. 15th, d by dx of log x to the base a. If the base is other than 10 and e, we are getting the derivative of this function as 1 divided by x into log a. So these are the formulas. Next 16th one, if we calculate d by dx of root x is nothing but 1 divided by 2 root x. 17th, d by dx of e raised to x, that is exponential function, we are getting e raised to x as it is. 18th one, d by dx of 1 by x is nothing but minus 1 by x square. So these are the 18 formulas you should remember to solve the any examples regarding derivative. First one regarding the functions, algebraic functions, then trigonometric functions, then inverse trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, exponential function and all. So these are the 18 formulas you must remember. If you want to take a screenshot of that, just take it. So you just put this formula in front of you whenever we are solving differentiation. Take the screenshot. I hope you took the screenshot of this one. So these are the formula you must by heart to know the every derivative of every functions in further. Okay, let us start from exercise 5.2 NCERT solution, right? Okay, exercise 5.2. First exercise regarding continuity. We will study that continuity regarding the continuity next coming classes, right? So exercise 5.2, first question is sine of x square plus 5 is the first question. Then second question is cos of sine x. Third question is sine of ax plus b. Okay, starting from sine of x square plus 5. What we have to do? We have to do find the derivative of these functions, right? So whatever the function is there, take that as a y. Let y is equal to sine x square plus 5. Then find out the derivative of this one. Nothing but dy by dx equal to. So whatever the function is there inside the bracket, we let us treat that as a x, right? So differentiation of sine x is cos x, but whatever treated x as a x square plus 5. If x is there, here only differentiation stops. But if it is not a x, it is x square plus 5. So again we have to find out d by dx of x square plus 5. Nothing but cos of x square plus 5. This is a chain rule, right? Differentiation of x square. Differentiation of x square is 2x. Here plus sign is there, write a plus sign. Differentiation of 5 is 0. So totally we are getting 2x plus 0 is 2x. 2x into this one is an answer. 2x into cos of x square plus 5 is a derivative of this function sine of x square plus 5. I hope you understood. Take whatever the function is in the bracket, treat as an x. So take sine x, differentiation is cos x. So whatever the functions inside the bracket is there, we have to take a differentiation of that one. So that is nothing but again proceed to that. This is a chain rule, right? So next one, cos of sine x, second example. treat this function as a y. Y is equal to cos of sin x. What we should want to find? We should want to find the derivative of this function. So with respect to x, nothing but dy by dx. So treat this function as an x. Cos x differentiation is minus sin x. But in place of x, what we are having? Sin x. Right? Sin of sin x. Now, derivative of sin x is, again we have to find out. Derivative of sin x. So minus sin of sin x into derivative of sin x is cos x. So this is the answer for this question. Derivative of cos of sin x is minus sin of sin x into cos x. I hope you understood. Treat this function as an x. So differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. And if it is x is there, here only it ends. But it is a sin x. Again, according to chain rule, we proceed again. D by dx of this function, sin x. Sin x differentiation is cos x. Right? Third one, sin of ax plus b. Take this as a y. Y equal to sin of ax plus b. Now we should find out derivative of y. Nothing but dy by dx equal to differentiation of sin is again cos ax plus b. Right? Into differentiation of ax plus b we have to find. D by dx of ax plus b. Nothing but dy by dx equal to cos of ax plus b into derivative of ax is a, because a is a constant, x differentiation is 1 plus differentiation of b is 0. So we are getting a. So this is an answer. A into cos ax plus b is an answer for this question. I hope you understood. So these are the 3 problems from exercise 5.2. Now we will switch on to the 4th example. Number 4. Sec of tan root x. Okay. So this is the question number 4. Let us treat this function as y. Y equal to sec of tan root x. Yes. Now we have to differentiate this function with respect to x. So dy by dx equal to, treat this function as a x. Right. So sec x differentiation is, this is x means sec x differentiation is sec x into tan x. But in place of x we are having tan of root x. So we have to substitute. Sec x differentiation is sec x into tan x. In place of x we are having tan of root x. Sec x into tan x. In place of x we are having tan of root x. So here it will not end here. In place of x what we are having? Tan of root x. We have to find the derivative of tan of root x. So that is nothing but sec of tan root x into tan of tan root x into differentiation of tan root x. So consider this as an x. So differentiation of tan x is sec square x, but in place of x we are having root x. Right. Differentiation of tan x is sec square x. In place of x we are having root x. If x is there, here only it will end. But here root x is there. Again we have to find d by dx of root x. Right? So this is nothing but sec of tan root x into tan of tan root x into sec square root x into differentiation of root x is 1 divided by 2 root x. So combining this entire thing, sec of tan root x, tan of tan root x into sec square root x whole divided by what we are having? 2 root x. So this is an answer for this question. I hope you understood. So what we have to do? Just go on applying chain rule until we will get in a standard form. Look at here. This one, whatever tan of root x is there inside the bracket function, you treat that as an x. So sec x differentiation is sec x into tan x. Sec x into tan x. But in place of tan we are having tan root x. Put there. Right. If x is there, here only it will end. But it is a tan root x. So d by dx of tan root x we have to find out. So this much everything is same. So tan root x differentiation is sec square root x, because in place of root x we just assume that is an x. Tan x differentiation is a sec square x. In place of x we are having root x. Again differentiation of root x. Differentiation of root x is 1 divided by 2 root x. The entire thing is same. I hope you understood. So this one is a fourth problem. Now we will switch on to the fifth problem. Fifth problem. Sin of ax plus b divided by cos of cx plus d. Cx plus d. So this is a question. Again treat the given function as a y. Treat given function as y. Y equal to sin of ax plus b. So I will take here it so that we can utilize full the board. Given take as an y sin of ax plus b divided by cos of cx plus d. Now we have to find out the derivative of this function, right? So to that we have to calculate dy by dx. To that we are going to apply the product rule. Sorry, quotient rule. What is quotient rule? U by v whole dash equal to denominator as it is, d by dx of numerator, minus numerator as it is, d by dx of denominator divided by denominator square. So this formula we are going to apply here. So whatever denominator is there, as it is, cos of cx plus d as it is. So differentiation of sin ax plus b, nothing but cos ax plus b into d by dx of ax plus b. Because differentiation of sin is cos, but whatever inside function is there, we have to take differentiation of that also. Next one, minus u. U means numerator. Numerator as it is. So what is numerator? Sin ax plus b as it is into d by dx of cos, that is nothing but minus sin cx plus d. So sorry, here cos cx plus d is there. Okay, minus sin cx plus d, yes, into differentiation of d by dx of cx plus d. Okay, whole divided by, in formula what we are having, whole divided by denominator square. What is denominator here? Cos square cx plus d. So next one, if you take again, simplify this one, cos of cx plus d into cos of ax plus b, differentiation of ax plus b. Differentiation of ax is a, differentiation of b is 0. So what we are getting? Only a. Minus minus plus we are having sin ax plus b into sin cx plus d into differentiation of cx. Differentiation of cx. C is as it is, differentiation of x is 1. So differentiation of d is 0. So we are having only c. Whole divided by, yes, whole divided by, we are having cos square cx plus d. So this is the answer for this question. Nothing but we are applied this quotient rule. Numerator as it is, denominator as it is, d by dx of numerator. Next, minus numerator as it is, differentiation of denominator divided by denominator square. So this is the formula we applied and calculated. We can simplify this one also by writing the constant terms first. A into cos of ax plus b into cos of cx plus d plus c into sin of ax plus b into sin of cx plus d, whole divided by what we are having, cos square cx plus d. I just simplified by writing constant terms first. That's it. So this is the answer for this question. Dy by dx, that is derivative of this function. I hope you understood. Now we are going to sixth example. Sixth NCERT example of exercise into sin square x raised to 5. So this is the sixth example. So let us take the given function as an y equal to cos x cube into sin square x raised to 5. So we have to find out the derivative of y. To this we should apply UV rule. What is UV rule? UV whole dash equal to U into V dash plus V into U dash. Nothing but a product rule. First function as it is, differentiation of second, plus second as it is, differentiation of first. So that we have to apply here. So first function is our cos x cube. Second function is sin square x raised to 5. Let us do now. Dy by dx equal to first function as it is, cos x cube as it is. Differentiation of second. So dy dx of this sin square can be written as sin x raised to 5 whole square. Right? Differentiation of second function plus what is second function as it is now, sin square x raised to 5 as it is into differentiation of first function. What is first function? Cos x cube. Right? This sin square can be written as whole square. Right? Now cos x cube as it is, differentiation of sin x raised to 5 square. In that way means we should apply x raised to n formula. So let us take this one as an x raised to n. So what you are getting? 2. That is n into x raised to n minus 1 is a formula. So 2 into sin of x raised to 5 raised to 2 minus 1 means 1 we are getting. Again we should take differentiation of this one. Nothing but d by dx of sin x raised to 5. Nothing but cos x raised to 5. Again we should take differentiation of x raised to 5. Nothing but 5x raised to 4. So here product rule is also applied and chain rule is also applied here. So again now plus is there, plus you take. So remaining sin square x raised to 5 into d by dx of cos x cube. Treat this function as an x. Now differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. But in place of sin we are having x cube. Write x cube. If x is there, here only it will end. But x cube is there. So to that we have to differentiate x cube also. So differentiation of x cube is 3x square we are getting. So simplifying the term, what we are getting? 5 into 2, 10. X raised to 4. Next, cos x cube into sin x raised to 5 into cos x raised to 5 plus 3x square is there. You write 3x square into sin square x raised to 5. Minus is there. You write minus plus minus here. So sin square x raised to 5 into sin x cube. So this is a answer for this question. Nothing but dy by dx, derivative of function cos x cube into sin square x raised to 5. I hope you are getting. So here we have used the both. This is a product rule as well as we have used the chain rule. Both the rules are applied here. I hope you understood. If you are not getting the points, you just go through the video again once. You can easily note down what is exactly going on. Right? So next one, 7th example. Seventh example, that is 2 square root of cot of x square. So this is a question. Let us take the given function as a y is equal to 2 into. So instead of taking square root, I will take like this, cot of x square. Right? Yes, because we should apply x raised to n formula easily. So dy by dx equal to 2 as it is. So treat this entire function as a x. So what we are getting? X square we are getting. So we know differentiation of x square is nothing but 2x. Put here 2 into. Sorry, it is not 2. It is square root is there. We have to take 1 by 2. Yes, 1 by 2. Because square root is there, raised to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 as it is. Now differentiation of x raised to n is n into x raised to. X in place of x we are having cot of x square. X raised to n minus 1. 1 by 2 minus 1. Into. Now here if it is x is there, here only it will end. But here it is a cot x square. Again we have to take differentiation of cot x square. Nothing but differentiation of cot is minus cos x square x. X is nothing but x square we are having. Again here x is there, here only ends. But it is an x square. Again we have to take differentiation of x square, that is 2x. Next, 2 get cancelled. So dy by dx equal to what you are having? Cot x square raised to 1 by 2 minus 1 is minus 1 by 2 we are having. Then again minus sign we are having minus cosec square x square into 2x. So take 2x here and take a minus sign, minus 2x into cosec square x square whole divided by, you are having raised to minus 1 by 2. You can take in denominator. So what you are getting? Cot x square raised to 1 by 2. Instead of taking 1 by 2, I will take a square root. So this is an answer for this question, dy by dx of this function. So what we have did, we just taken a given function as a y and applied the chain rule. Look at it, treating this as an x raised to n, we are getting x raised to n formula, n into x raised to n minus 1, n into x raised to n minus 1. Again here, whatever the function is there, take differentiation of that. So cot x, treat this as an x, cot x differentiation is minus cosec square x. In place of x, we are having x square, right? So again, if x is there, here only it will end. But here it is an x square. Again, we have to take a differentiation of x square, nothing but 2x. So entire thing is simplified. Now we got the answer, right? Next one, 8th problem. Problem number 8. So here, cos of root x. They have given cos of root x. So that means take a given function as a y is equal to cos of root x. Now differentiate with respect to x, dy by dx equal to, treat this as an x, right? Differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. Minus sin, in place of x, what we are having? Root x. If here x is there, here only it will end, but here it is a root x. Again we should take d by dx of root x. Yes, minus sin root x into differentiation of root x is 1 divided by 2 root x. So what we are getting finally? Minus sin root x whole divided by 2 root x is an answer for this question, dy by dx. So what we did, taken this root x treated as a x, then cos x differentiation is minus sin x, in place of x, what we are having? Root x. Taken a root x here. So if x is there, here only it will end, but here it is a root x. Again we have to take differentiation of root x, nothing but 1 divided by 2 root x. So here we have simplified. This is the 8th problem. I hope you understood. Now 2 problems are remaining. Take the next problem, that is the 9th problem. Problem number 9. So here they have given, prove that a function f, f given by f of x equal to mod of x minus 1, where x belongs to R, is not differentiable at x equal to 1. Is not differentiable at x equal to 1. So what they have asked, just we have to prove that function f given by f of x equal to mod x minus 1, where x belongs to R, is not differentiable. Is not differentiable at x equal to 1. So to show this, what we should know? We should know what is the definition of differentiability. Nothing but left hand limit and right hand limit are exist finitely and equal to 0. So that condition we have to apply here and we are going to prove. So let us calculate now. Nothing but a function, any function f is differentiable at x equal to c if when this happens, limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 minus equal to limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. This time both are equal. Then only we can say the function is differentiable at that point. But here the point they given is a 1. That means we have to find out the c value. C is 1. We have to find out this value and this RHL limit, and we have to see either those are equal or not. If they are not equal, that is not a differentiable at that point, right? So let us start now. So starting. LHL, left hand limit. Limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 minus we have to find out now. So what they have given? Limit f of c plus h. What is c here? C is a 1. So you write f of 1 plus h minus f of 1 whole divided by h as h tending to 0 minus we have to find out. So what is f of 1 plus h? Carefully see here. We have to put 1 here. In place of x, we have to put 1 plus h. So we are getting limit mod. In place of x, we have to put 1 plus h. 1 plus h minus 1 minus f of 1. F of 1 is 1 minus 1 is 0 we are getting. You write that one also. 1 minus 1 whole divided by what we are getting? H as h tending to 0. 0 minus. That means negative value. What we are getting totally? So 1 plus h means this one cancelled. H minus 0, h by h. Nothing but limit mod h divided by h as h tending to 0 minus. Since h is 0 minus, that means a negative value. So we are getting mod of that value must be negative. That is nothing but limit mod h divided by h as h tending to 0. This is cancelled. We are getting minus 1. Minus 1 as an LHL. Now calculate RHL. RHL is nothing but limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. So in that way, limit, same way we have to find out c plus h, again put in that equation. We are getting, yes, 1 plus h minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 whole divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. So totally what we are getting? Limit, this one again cancel, mod h divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. So if you simplify that one, limit. So mod of the h value is when the h is O plus. That means 0 plus means what? Positive value. When this is a positive, the mod value also positive value. H by h. H tending to 0. H get cancelled. 1 we are getting. Carefully see here guys. LHL we got minus 1. RHL we got plus 1. So both are not equal. If LHL is not equal to RHL, yes, LHL is not equal to RHL, we can say the function f is not differentiable at x equal to 1. That is, left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. The function f is not differentiable at x equal to 1. I hope you understood. So this one is a 9th problem. Now we will switch on to the 10th problem. Tenth one, prove that greatest integer function, greatest integer function defined by f of x equal to greatest integer function is denoted like this, where x is in between 0 and 3 at x equal to 1. So we have to find out this one. Prove that greatest integer function defined by f of x equal to greatest integer function, nothing but written in the square bracket, and x is in between 0 to 3 at x equal to 1. This one is not differentiable. We have to find out function is at x equal to 1 is not differentiable. That we have to find out. Is not differentiable. Is not differentiable. That we have to show. To show that, again we know any function to be a differentiable at any point, it should satisfy the condition limit of f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 minus, and limit of f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 plus, that is LHL and RHL must be exist and both are equal. Then only we can say that function is continuous at point C. Here they have asked the point at x equal to 1 and they have given a function f of x equal to greatest integer function. So what is that greatest integer function indicates? Carefully see here guys. Here is a number line, what we can call like this. So when we wanted to calculate the greatest integer function of 1.1, so that 1.1 will be like this here, 1.1 it comes here. So we have to take immediate next left side integer of that one. So greatest integer function of this one is 1. So we have to take left side. If you want to calculate greatest integer function of 2.2, we are getting 2, like that. So that is nothing but your greatest integer function. So that we have to show that the greatest integer function is not a differentiable at x equal to 1. Okay, so let us show that one. That is, we have to show LHL is not equal to RHL. So what is LHL? LHL is limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 minus. So that means limit f of c plus h. What is c here? C is 1. So 1 plus h minus f of 1 divided by h as h tending to 0 minus. So in that case, so what is the function? Function is a greatest integer function. So limit, we have to put here greatest integer function 1 plus h minus greatest integer function 1 divided by h as h tending to 0 minus. So if it is a 0 minus, the greatest integer function will be, so less than this number. Minus is there, if 1 is there, less than that number will be 0. So 0 and here also 0. Everything is, we are getting 0 in this case. LHL as a 0. Next one, RHL. Limit f of c plus h minus f of c divided by h as h tending to 0 plus, now we have to do. Again same thing, limit, you write this one, greatest integer function 1 plus h minus greatest integer function 1 divided by h as h tending to 0 plus. Whenever 0 plus is there, this value will becomes 1 and this value becomes 0. 1 minus 0 divided by h, yes, as limit h tending to 0. So in this case we are getting 1 by 0 is nothing but an infinity. LHL we are getting 0, RHL we are getting infinity. So LHL, clearly LHL is not equal to RHL. So this implies what? F is this not differentiable, not differentiable at x equal to 1. I hope you understood. So this is greatest integer function. Whenever 1 plus h is there, when you put a 0 minus in that, we are getting a 1. But it is a negative value, therefore we are getting 1 lesser than, that is nothing but a 0. So 0 minus 0 divided by h, nothing but 0 only. So whenever we take limit f of c plus h, nothing but an RHL limit, at that time what we should do? We should take whatever the greatest integer function next to that one, 1 minus 0, nothing but 1. So 1 divided by 0 we are getting infinity. How we are getting this 0? By putting this limit as h is tending to 0, right? So that is we are getting 0 value. I hope you understood. So this one is regarding exercise 5.2. This is regarding this class. In next coming classes, we are going to discuss the third exercise of this differentiation, that is nothing but exercise 5.3, and in that somewhat derivative of implicit functions. I hope you understood. If you are not getting the points, again go through the video once, you will definitely get the points here. And if you have any doubts and queries, please comment below. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe.